Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Mahavira Radha Raman Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Istadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Welcome back. I am happy to be here with you and to have this episode 11 on Jiva Tattva. Something that have been an absolute thrill to say, to be able of doing this reading and to read the comments as well. They have been super interesting. Some comments on support, some comments on debate. But after all, what I realize through them is that many devotees are very surprised, and seems like Tattva, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Tattva, the reality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, not the point of view of one cult or the other cult, but the Gaudiya Vaishnavism philosophy, in some houses is like a big surprise for many. And for many who call themselves Gaudiyas, followers of the philosophy that took birth in Gauda, the land of Gaura. So have been interesting really to study all this, to see the reactions on it, to see how many people is really thankful for bringing all this interesting truth to the table. In order to keep and continue this seva, we will have the possible last episode on Jiva Tattva for now, but don't worry, because more interesting granthas are coming, and some of them are terrific, or in other words, are just wonderful. To read them, to comment on them, and I'm pretty sure that everyone can get some benefit out of the readings that we are doing here in Gaura Sangha in Sarva Shakti. By the way, now that I'm saying Gaura Sangha, I have the wish out of a meeting with a good friend, a beautiful soul that I met in Radhakund, a devotee from Australia. He said, Dada, why you don't do... No, he said this, if you do kata lectures online, please invite me. I would really like to be in an online sangha where I can hear more information, more insights, investigations on Gaudiya philosophy and Gaudiya philosophy as it is. I say it will be wonderful, but by now, since four years already or something like that, I am just directing lectures in Spanish, because my Spanish channel has much more followers and people, so it's over 3,000 something subscribers. Maybe for YouTube it's not a big deal, but for Gaudiya philosophy is a big deal. Because Gaudiya philosophy is not commercial. We are not people pleasers, to say, you know. Gaudiya is straightforward and it's beautiful and sweet, but also is as the truth. The truth can be so shining that someone will get blind. So it's a good number. I think I have very good audience. They are so, every one of them are beautiful souls. We are always in contact. They write me from all different places. But I am not doing anything in English, far from this channel and the lectures. So actually it will be great to have a weekly meeting in English where I can read just like this, but with the plus that the friends who are assisting to the lectures can do questions, can ask, we can analyze on a deeper level. Because now you are watching a recording, so I cannot answer anything that is coming to your mind, with the exception of comments and answers. But it's not the same, you know, because after answer, for sure you have a little bit more, or you will need a little bit more support in some areas. So what do you think about making a group? Having 10 persons, I would be happy to start. Having 10 souls interested to do weekly lectures, I will be most unhappy and blessed, by the way, to do my seva also in English language. My primary language is Spanish. People born in English countries, English-speaking countries, sure have been noticed my accent. and that some words maybe are a little bit strange, like bewilder or bewilder. I think that sometimes I get like, how to say this word, like, you know? Anyways, so if you are up to, if you feel the call of taking part, I invite you. For that, you must send an email to my inbox, and you can go directly to gaurasanga.org, and in contact, you send an email. The lectures will be, of course, free, no problem. I will pay the Zoom for that. It's not any problem with that. But if we do a number of 10 people, we can start. What do you think about this idea? I know that a few persons will right away say, hey, I told you this before, let's go, let's do it. Eh? So why not? Really, why not? To do some sadhana about studying will be great. 1 hour per week. Well, I leave it there. Now it's up to you. If this will work, contact me now. Today we will read the verdict of others Vaishnava Sampradayas, because Vaishnava Sampradayas are not only Gaudiya Vaishnavism. They are Vaishnava Sampradayas that are previous Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And of course, all the Vaishnava Sampradayas are previous ISKCON and Gaudiya Math. So what other Vaishnava Sampradayas say in relation to the Jiva, from where the Jiva is coming from? Are the Jivas falling down from Vaikuntha like apples from a tree and getting rotten on the ground, or not? Or this is too much a Brahmic vision that you fell down by your sins, you evil. There is something else? Yeah, let's check what they say. Important to say that all Vaishnava Sampradayas, or almost all, they follow Shastras as well. Not only us. We are not the only ones following the Shastras. All the Vaishnava Sampradayas are following Shastras, with the exception of 1 or 2 that actually I know that they don't pay attention much to, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't consider a high tattva kind of Shastra or book. The verdict of other Vaishnava Sampradayas. No other Vaishnava Sampradaya accepts the fell down theory. Here are some references from other Vaishnava Sampradayas. In Vedanta Kamadhenu 2, popularly known as Dasa Shloki, Nimbarkacharya describes the various categories of jivas. Anadi Maya Pariyukta Rupam, Tvenam Vidur Vai Bhagavat Prasadat, Muktancha, Bhaktancha Kila Vada Muktam, Praveda Bahulyam Atapi Bodhyam. Meaning, the living entity is conditioned by beginningless Maya, but by the mercy of the Lord, he can become liberated. There are various divisions of jivas, such as liberated, devoted, conditioned, and liberated after being bound. Purushottamasharya, a grand disciple of Sri Nimbarkacharya, has written a detailed commentary on Vedanta Kamadhenu called Vedanta Ratna Manjusa. We cite part of his commentary on the above quote from Nimbarka, and reads, "The living entities are of 2 types, bound and liberated. Out of these 2, who are bound tightly by the ego of considering the body as its byproducts, as I and mine, are called bound. The body, which is of various types, such as demigods and animals, is the result of the desires to act, karma visana. This karma visana is anadi or beginningless."
Fatality.
This Nimbarka Sampradaya, that is one of the oldest and most respected Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradayas in Vrindavan, and of course they have some branches abroad, but mainly it's focused in Vrindavan. They say exactly the same that we have been studying on the past 9 episodes. There are 2 kinds of jiva. One are the Nitya Siddhas, eternally liberated, and the other ones are Nitya Badas, in the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Nitya Badas are always beginningless inside Mahamaya, the illusion, and the other jivas are in Vaikuntha eternally, or in Golok Vrindavan eternally. They don't fall down. A different Vaishnava Sampradaya have the same ideas. This karma vasana is anadi. The karma of the Nityavada is anadi, reads, or beginningless. Clear, yes or not? We don't need to start, it's not need to start switching things here to make fit to my faith, to my cult. No need. Apa Sampradayas are Apa Sampradaya because they build up their own theories and ideas. This is Apa Sampradaya. No need. Let's go to the next. After this, he divides the bound souls into further categories, such as those desiring liberation and those desiring to enjoy materially. But the point about the beginningless nature of the conditioning of the jiva is made clearly by Nimbarkacharya as well as by the commentator. While describing the second group of jivas, the liberated ones, Purushottamacharya writes, is the verse here, but we will not read the original, we will go to the English translation. The muktas are of two types, Nitya Mukta and Mukta. The Nitya Muktas never experience miseries such as being in the womb, birth, old age, and death. They have no relation with matter or any experience related to matter, to the material world, right? They are always enjoying only the bliss of devotion and service, such as seeing the Lord. They have two classes, Anantarya and Parsada. The Anantaryas are paraphernalia such as the helmet, bangles, earrings, and flute of the Lord. The Parsadas are associates such as Vishvaksena and Garuda. This is confirmed in the Rik mantra. The devotees always see him. The Rik mantra reads, the devotees always see him. And the word here is Saddha Pasyanti Surajaha. The muktas are those who have become liberated from misery and other results arising from a relation with material nature. Material nature is represented by avidya or ignorance, which is in the form of beginningless karma. Clear, yes? Crystal clear. It's exactly the same theory of the Gaudiyas. You see, it's the same, exactly the same, because our bona fide philosophy takes the Shastras as a reference of their philosophy. Otherwise, it's the creation of anybody, and this helps nothing, in absolutely nothing. This explanation of the jiva given by Nimbarkacharya and his learned great-grand disciple agrees with the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta established by the six Goswamis, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sri Ramanuja Acharya, now we jump to Ramanuja, Sampradaya Ramanuja Acharya, accepts that there are two categories of jivas, Nitya Mukta and Nitya Vada, and that bondage of the second class is their karma, which is beginningless. For example, in his Gita Vasya on Bhagavad Gita 2.13, he wrote, the eternal souls, because of the influence of beginningless karma, are endowed with bodies suitable to their karma. Similarly, in his Sri Bhashya, commenting on the first of the Vedanta Sutras, he writes, Tashmat anadi karma pravaha rupanyana mula twat bandhasya. Bondage is root in ignorance, which is the nature of karma flow, which has no beginning. Karma has no beginning. According to Sri Madhvacharya, the jivas are limited by their own nature as well as by the external energy, but the external conditioning can be terminated. In this regard, B.N.K. Sharma writes in his authoritative work Philosophy of Sri Madhvacharya, page 260, though essentially uncreated, they, conditioned jivas, are nevertheless associated from eternity with a series of material coils known as avarnas. They are 1. Linga Sharira, or the subtle body or psychological mechanism of 16 elements. This carries the causal potentialities that lead to a number of future lives in fullness of time. 2. Prarabdha karma, or karma which has begun to bear fruit. And 3. Kama, or desire, which is the seed of activity. And 4. Positive ignorance or avidya, which is both real and destructible. Sri Jayatirtha, the 10th Acharya in our Parampara, the writer quotes, has written about the 4th factor, avidya, in Nyaya Shuddha, a commentary on Anubhyakyana of Sri Madhvacharya. He says, therefore, distinct from kama, karma, and so on, denoted by words such as maya, avidya, and prakriti, ignorance of jiva, is certainly beginningless. About the second type of avarna, prarabdha karma, Professor B.N.K. Sharma writes in page 260, such ignorance is beginningless but has an end. Then he quotes the Shruti in his support, Mandukya Upanishad 1.17. Anadi mayaya supto yada jivaha prabudyate. When the jiva under the influence of beginningless maya is awakened. When the jiva under the influence of beginningless maya is awaked. Madhvacharya not only accepts anadi karma, he says that every soul has an anadi swabhav, a beginningless nature from which karma flows as an outward expression. Mahabharata Tat Parya Nirnaya 22:84-85. In this way, Madhvacharya and his followers accept that the jiva is bound by karma, which has no beginning. He does not say anywhere explicitly or implicitly that jivas fell from Vaikuntha. No, sir. No. Vishnu Swami's writings are not available, but there are a few verses attributed to him found in the writings of our acharyas. Our acharyas were speaking about Gaudiyas. For example, in Bhavarta Dipika, Sridhar Swami cites Vishnu Swami in his commentary on Bhagavatam 1.7.56. The Lord is embraced by his Hladini and Sambit potency and is Satchit Ananda by nature. The jiva is the abode of all type of miseries and is covered by ignorance. The one who controls Maya is the Lord, and the one who is troubled by her, by Maya, is the jiva. Saying that the Lord is embraced by his Hladini and Sambit potencies imply that his eternal associates are under the protection of these energies. It is commonly known that Maya cannot influence this potency of the Lord. She can only influence the jiva in the material world. Vallabhacharya considers that the jiva is part of Brahman, and he cites the Upanishadic statements such as Jatak Nehe, Sudra Vish Pulinga, Brihad Aranjaka Upanishad 8.120 in his support. He does not write anywhere that the jiva falls from Vaikuntha. Rather, he writes, by the will of the Lord, his Ananda part become manifest at the beginning of creation, such as sparks of Brahman is called jiva. Subodhini 10.87.20. To all these false bodies, the ones who think still that jiva will is falling from Vaikuntha, to all false bodies may say that these are all different Sampradayas, so it does not matter to us. We hope no one is that cynical towards the bona fide Sampradayas. In any event, we shall know that all Vaishnava Sampradayas have some basic tenet held in common, is what I said at the beginning of this video. Some of these are that Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. Jivas are eternal and different from the Lord. Even in the liberated stage, jivas are part and parcel of the Lord. Bhakti is the avideya and is independent of all other processes. And Shruti, Smriti, Vedanta, Sutra, the Upanishads and Puranas are authentic scriptures. Similarly, all agree that the bondage of the jiva has no beginning. So all Vaishnava Sampradayas accept the same scripture that we do, with exception, of course, of the Goswamis of Vrindavan to say. But Bhagavatam, Upanishads, Shruti, Smriti, Vedanta Sutra, etc., all these are accepted by all Vaishnava Sampradayas. And all of them conclude that the jiva does not fall from Vaikuntha. It will be quite bewildering if the Vaishnava acharyas were to disagree on this point, because there cannot be different ways in which the jiva is conditioned. No, cannot be different stories. The truth is one, so all the Vaishnava Sampradayas know this truth and they support this truth. Jiva does not fall from Vaikuntha. In all the criticisms Srila Prabhupada directed at the Gaudiya Math, he never indicated that they deviated philosophically, while it is a fact that we are institutionally separated from the Gaudiya Math. We have no reason to believe that they have changed the Siddhanta of our Parampara. If we accept ourselves as a branch coming from the Gaudiya Math founder, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati, we have to consider their understanding of the Siddhanta. In the Gaudiya Math, no one accepts fall from Vaikuntha as our Siddhanta. In the Gaudiya Math, no one accepts fall from Vaikuntha as our Siddhanta. So this is an idea only on Srila Prabhupada possible. Wow! Otherwise, we may belong to an Ishkon Sampradaya, as some zealous person have claimed, but this, of course, will mean having a different Siddhanta than any Vaishnava Sampradaya, that it will turn it directly as an Apa Sampradaya. It will mean that we are not part of any bona fide Sampradaya. You see? How this could be pleasing to Srila Prabhupada or any other predecessor Acharya, we shudder to think. Wow, heavy, but extremely interesting. We get as a conclusion that all the bona fide Sampradayas, Gaudiya Sampradayas, even if they are no Gaudiyas, all the bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas, even if they are no Gaudiyas, they accept that there are two kinds of souls. One are the Nitya Siddhas and the others are the Nitya Badas. So the Nitya Badas are eternally in Maya, and the karma and all this has no beginning. They have exactly the same idea that I have been exposing here, explaining and reading to all of you, sharing with all of you from the past 9 or 10 videos. To be extremely honest, I think here is nothing more to say regarding to this topic. Is conclusive, it's crystal clear, it's logic, and even it makes sense just by thinking on this. Makes much more sense. So from all point of views, and mainly by the Shastras and the Granthas of the Purvacharyas, this is the truth and nothing else. Take it or leave it. Basically, you decide. You are following Apa Sampradaya or you are following a bona fide Sampradaya. If you follow a bona fide Sampradaya, as all the bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas, you may believe and know, understand and study that Jivas never fell from Vaikuntha. I hope you liked this video and this series. It was super interesting for me also to get again to this topic and to the studies on this area. I hope you enjoy and you learn something new. I wish that my work and the work in the channel is helping you, is inspiring you with truth, tattva directly, even provocative information, because we are not for cult sects or religious mindset. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is a philosophy, it's the supreme philosophy. Therefore, we must accept the supreme tattva, the supreme truth. Other way around, no, it's not how the thing works, brothers and sisters. I will see you tomorrow with another video. We will start a new study here in the channel. If you have any suggestion, something that you would like that I will check, read and comment, let me know here in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a wonderful day. Mahavira Radharamana ki jai, Jai Nitai Jai Gaur, Jai Sri Radheshyam.
Vaikuntha Gaura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Vaikuntha Gaura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Mahavira Radharaman, Jai Nitai Jai Gaur, Jai Sri Radheshyam.